So here's a tweet. Now this is what Dianna Russini, this is Dianna Russini's Twitter account and a tweet that she posted. And if you look at the date there, 8/11 of 21. So this was 2021, shortly after she was married. Okay. Now let's go back here. These pictures were taken in 2020, somewhere around March or April of 2020. Okay. Now keep that fresh in your mind. We're gonna go right here. This tweet was done in August of 2021. So about a year and a half-ish later. And the tweet says, you can read it, but I'm going to read it out loud for you just for the, dramatic effect, right? Okay. Keep looking at my almost 4-day-old son, Michael, while trying to figure out who are the best Michaels to ever play and coach in the NFL.
Is it dirty? Okay, but it works.
Yep, he did a big turd.
Something Wong. Something Wong. Something Wong.
And then you go back to last week's episode, and you can watch all the stuff that she says about her husband, of like how he's average. She doesn't post anything about him because he's not beautiful. He's average. How their marriage is a mess. All of the things that she says. And then she has a year and a half after this fling, she posts a tweet. She named her son Michael. Now, should there be a junior? Should there be a junior after Michael? I'm going to say so. I'm going to let this guy, this came up, and this guy says everything that I want to say. So I'm just going to let him say it.
Say, I believe, should be a law. If you are cheating on your husband, and you get pregnant, you should never be allowed to name your child after the guy that you're having the affair with.
Yeah.
That should be a law.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
I don't even care whose kid it is.
Don't even matter.
It could be your husband's kid. It could be your affair person's kid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You, as a law, you should not be allowed to name that child after the man that you are having the affair with. Dianna Russini named her firstborn son Michael.
That's foul.
And I'm sorry.
That's foul.
If Mr. Russini, all right, was even contemplating for a second of going to couples counseling and trying to figure it out,
rebuild,
and getting over the hump of his wife humping Mike Vrabel for the 6 years,
for
right?
6 years, yeah.
Then I think this is the final straw. Because now I want a paternity test, obviously.
Of course, he better.
But even if I am the father, you told me Michael was your favorite name.
Right. I have to say, I've actually been far more pro Dianna Russini throughout this than Mike Vrabel. Up until that tweet came out, how she has a 4-day-old baby, and she's thinking about the best Michael that's played and coached in the NFL.
Yeah.
Her side piece played and coached in the NFL.
Right.
Exactly.
That's so foul.
4 days after her son is born, her son makes her think about the guy she's banging on the side.
Are you kidding me?
Cold-blooded.
Very cold-blooded. Like I said, this story keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder and weirder every day. And it's like she has intentionally, and just like the guy said, like, I've been pro Dianna, like, as much as you can be. I mean, they're both guilty in the situation. They've both done something really wrong and really stupid. But as like the last week's show, as we talked about, like, she's been catching all the heat. And old Mike's been flying under the radar, not getting a whole lot of heat from anybody. And I've been pro Dianna, kind of like he is. Like, this should be even. All of this punishment and the things that go with this, of people saying all the things that they're saying, it should go both ways. It should go for, just like it takes two to tango. And now I'm just like, she literally, it's like she's made a game out of this. Like, she's literally just married the guy, had the kids, and has been intentionally trolling him the entire time. Like, just trolling him. She's known all this time, like she doesn't want the guy that she's married to. I'm assuming he's got a lot of money. He's the CEO of the shake place. You know, he's prominent. He's got a lot of money. I'm guessing that's basically all that there was to it. I don't know. I don't know what the motive is. That's what's weird. I don't know what the motive is. I don't think that way. I don't think in those terms. I would never like have all of this stuff premeditated in my mind to do something like this to someone, just like as a game. And I hate to say that anybody would, but that's what it looks like. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's like this whole thing has just been, you know, like it's like an actual, like a weird movie plot, like something that you would see on HBO Max. That's just like, you watch it and you're just kind of like, you know, hanging on to all of the drama and everything because it's in a script. But this is real. It's really happened. It just keeps getting weirder and weirder. I don't want to talk about this again next week. I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm hoping that it can't get any more strange than this. I don't want to be in this, I don't know, like suspenseful cycle anymore. I just want this story to go away. I mean, she's obviously done. She's, you know, like her company, they had her back at first when she said, hey, we were there, like I was there with some girlfriends. We were on a hiking trip and we just met up with the guy. And, you know, I gave him a hug and somebody took our picture and they were like, okay, that's great. Like, you're good. All you've got to do is, there's never been a girls trip in the history of the world since cell phones have been invented, especially phones with cameras. There's not a girls trip ever that there's not at least 20 selfies taken by every woman there, right? You're taking selfies of yourself in the mountains. You're taking selfies at the coffee shop. You're taking selfies in the room. You're taking selfies at the pool, whatever. And then you're going to be texting each other like, hey, this is where we're going to meet. You know, let's have breakfast here. And then we'll go to this other place or whatever. We'll go shopping. And they're like, all you got to do is give us a couple of these texts and these pictures, and then we'll blast it out on the media and be like, hey, here we go. She was with these people. She wasn't doing that. And she had a couple of days and she couldn't come up with any kind of evidence. So she lost that job. And that's the thing. Like, now her integrity is gone because she lied. And it's obvious that she lied. But the thing is, so did he. And now he's seeking his counseling. Like, it's a freaking cop-out. He's not seeking 1 day of counseling on the third day of the draft because that's what he wants to do because he feels bad. It's a publicity thing that probably his agent or the team or both. I don't know what the status is with him and his wife. I have no idea. Maybe she's making him do it. But if I was her, I'd just be packing the crap and heading out because obviously this thing's gone on for 6 years at least. Like, call it off. Jeez, man. So, okay, I'm done. We're moving on.